welcome to our show. It's Vincent Wong and Andrew Wong, founder of Solution News and founder and editor-in-chief of Harbour Times.
Yes, sir.
I think today we have to thank a nation. I think Hong Kong.
A nation, yes.
Oh, a thank you to this nation and
Absolutely.
the people. The Philippines.
That's right.
And because yesterday, June the 12th, is the Independence Day anniversary or celebration.
Absolutely. The Philippines Independence Day.
Yeah, and I think most people will think that only domestic helpers are helping Hong Kong, contributing to the economic growth by freeing up the workforce from the 80s to now. But in actual fact, when I was working in the government, in the Planning, Environment and Lands Bureau, which now has become 2 bureaus. Anyway, they are environment experts, and they are planning engineers, architects
So
from the Philippines.
Yeah, absolutely. Sure. There's a lot of bright...
And some of the great poets in Asia actually was from the Philippines, and some of them stay in Hong Kong.
Sure, like Jose Rizal, the poet and resistance fighter.
Normally, the poets are also like strong public affairs advocates.
Yes, true. You would the PR guys of the day. So what's the deal? So what's the deal? And what's the Hong Kong connection to this statement of Filipino independence?
Oh, there's a connection?
There's a Hong Kong connection. Hong Kong's got a part to play in this story.
All right.
Okay.
I'm more years.
So 1896, the first Philippine Revolution begins. It isn't completely successful. It ends with the Pact of Biak na Bato, where the Spanish government gets the rebels, led by Emilio Aguinaldo. They do well, but they don't do well enough to win, so they end up getting paid off. 800,000 pesos, and they are exiled to Hong Kong, and they set up shop in Hong Kong. And there's a group of them that end up here. Now later, not long after.
You know what? Some of them has become.
What's that?
Some of them has actually contributed to the musical industry
in Hong Kong.
In Hong Kong.
You mean the rebels that came over in 1898?
The second or third generation has become really famous musicians in Hong Kong. And I think in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, there are many great bands.
Fantastic.
From the Philippines.
Well, I'll name some of the rebel heroes as we go through this, and then maybe people can see if they recognize the names. Traditional Filipino music. So, all right, let me get to it. So the Emilio Aguinaldo teams up with the Americans, comes back, and is part of the resistance effort of the Americans when the Battle of Manila.
What happened then?
And he comes from Hong Kong, and he comes back to the Philippines, and on June 12th, 1898, there was a proclamation of independence. But here comes the Hong Kong...
June 12th?
June 12th, yeah. So
yesterday.
Here comes the Hong Kong connection. The first national flag of the Philippines was sewn by Marcela Angoncillo, Lorenza Agoncillo, who I think might have been her 5-year-old daughter, and Delfina Herbosa, was sewn and created here in Hong Kong, and then brought over for the ceremony.
3 people?
3 people that were involved, yes.
Oh, all right.
So, and that's the big Hong Kong connection.
So the flag was made in Hong Kong?
The first flag was made in Hong Kong. Yes. I don't know.
And then shipped back to the Philippines.
Yeah, I don't know if they sewed a little "Made in Hong Kong" tag on it.
No, not on national flag, please. No.
That came later.
All right.
But yeah, so when you look at the Filipino flag, what have you got? You've got the white that stands for peace and purity. The triangle represents the equality and also the original...
that's the triangle here, right? Yeah. And the star is you remind me of the old
3 stars.
Yeah, the 3 stars, and then there's a big sun.
And then the sun in the middle. So the 3 stars represent the 3 main geographical regions of the Philippines, Luzon, Mindanao, and Visayas. The sun represents independence, and the 8 rays are the 8 provinces that rebelled against the Spanish. Blue for patriotism and justice. And then you've got the red.
Blue is a common color in a lot of independence flag.
And then red for valor and the blood spilt for freedom and independence. So there's your Filipino flag made in Hong Kong. Great story, and
they will have a celebration?
There'll be a celebration tomorrow night.
Oh, tomorrow night!
Tomorrow night with the for the Filipino community, and I think also inviting people from other communities so they can come and find out more about Filipino independence. I believe it's a by invite only event, so I'm not throwing this one out to the general public. But what you can do is you can go to 535 Morrison Hill, because that's where Marcela Angoncillo lived when she sewed the first flag of the Philippines right here in Hong Kong. So big shout out to all our friends from the Philippines, big supporters of the Hong Kong community in our hearts and in our homes and in our professions and in our banks and in our buildings and environment and everywhere. Thanks, Philippines.
All right, with that, I have to thank for the really good work by Mr. Andrew Work.
Hey, we're always looking for great solutions. Thanks, Vincent.